Happy Thursday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell, live on Memorex, default route, default location. Yesterday, I started to get my headache like I usually do. Felt the sinus irritation and the pressure or whatever was going on up there. I knew the headache was coming. So I took the extra strength, the CVS brand extra strength headache relief. Took 200 milligrams and it knocked it out. It pretty much worked after a while. And it felt good. I felt really good. I felt really good. And it felt good to feel good. It felt so good to feel good that I was like, you know, we gotta figure this out. We gotta do whatever it takes to get back to feeling like this most of the time. So yesterday, I smoked Black & Milds, probably the least I've smoked in months. The least amount I've smoked in months. Since I started allowing myself to smoke every day. I'll smoke like a half of one. That's all I had left and I didn't go buy anymore. And I may be reading too much into it, but I do feel a little different this morning. I don't know if you can tell, but it's overcasty. The sun's not out. It's a little cooler, even though it says it's 67 degrees. It says it feels like 76. So it's not like it's gonna rain the day after tomorrow type thing. When I used to, my sinuses really used to act up. My allergies, at first before the allergies used to happen. And then the allergies kind of stopping now. It's more of a sinus pressure, sinus pain, leads to these headaches. But I took that medicine, I took that headache relief yesterday, and when it's working, the pressure I feel on the back of my neck isn't there, the soreness or stiffness or muscle tension or muscle pain or whatever. It's like in the back of my head isn't there, I don't feel that. Like when I lean over and stand up real fast, I don't feel that pain. And I just feel better. Like I said, I don't know if it's the caffeine or what, but I just feel energy. I feel like my old self. But I'm used to feeling like the energy, feeling good, sharp, energized. And I want to keep that. And I'm like feeling like I'm at the point. I'm gonna say I feeling like, because you never know. I'm feeling like I'm at the point that I'll do anything to have that. I will sacrifice and give up everything. Black & Milds, well, not everything, of course. I ain't giving up Jeffery TV or P-Funk or LA Maggots or the Steelers or anything like that. But I guess basically what I was saying was I'd rather feel like this than smoke them damn Black & Milds or something like that. I'll give up any vice or habit that I may or may not have to feel like that. To feel like that again most of the time. Wake up feeling like that. Because it's good. And I also was thinking, maybe that's why folks be loving their coffee, which is almost scary. Because if coffee make you feel like this every day, oh my God. If coffee make you feel like that, because the caffeine is blaring at me. Let me just say that. The caffeine is blaring at me. So, the word, I've just got a thing with caffeine. I just, stay away from it. Blah, 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 blah. And at work yesterday, a couple co-workers had them cans of Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Coca-Cola. And he got tea. Dude had tea and Diet Coke. So they was just definitely pumping the caffeine. I was like, oh. And I was teasing one dude who had 2 cans of Diet Coke sitting there. I think he drank them. I was like, damn. And his buddy said, yeah, he had 2 over there too. He said, and killed another one. So caffeine is a real thing in America, if not everywhere. And so, you know, it's like, and I'm at the point too also, if I got to take these damn Tylenols every day, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what, because this is how I want to feel. If I'll make that sacrifice. Do I want to burn up my liver? No. But hopefully, you know, if this continues the way it does, and I would change my behavior, my habits, the Tylenol, taking the acetaminophen, whatever the Tylenol basically, CVS, generic brand Tylenol, headache relief, taking the headache relief medicine, I call it that, headache relief medicine, could just be a temporary fix until my habitual changes kick in, which you know, would be fairly good. I kind of want to go straight because I want to see what happens to those doors over there. Let me see if I can make it. Feeling kind of lazy though. Because even though it's overcast, my nose, usually when it gets like this, is when my sinuses are like really bad. But this doesn't feel like the, you know, rain is about to happen kind of stuff. This is more like the, more like overcast, but even this weather change kind of affects me. But, and I do feel different. I do feel somewhat of a change. See, I don't look like there's a fire. Smells like fire too. What happened in there? Yeah, it looked like it was a fire, see? You see? Looked like it was a fire. Told y'all. I was walking by yesterday. Fire damage. But anyway. And yesterday, with my reduction of black and miles, I ate a lot. I probably ate more yesterday than I have in a long time during the week. But I knew Wednesday is a eat a lot day, and it was all hands day. So I knew there was gonna be lunch. And they got us these, I think they call Korean rice bar. It's in a bowl, but it's called a Korean rice bar. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. Just the flavors of it was just so good. And my thing is, it's food I would never, it was disturbingly good because it was food I would never buy for myself. It was food I would never even consider buying for myself. And therefore, that means I'm by default almost missing out on a lot of good stuff. That kind of lets me know that maybe you need to broaden your horizons. Maybe there's a lot more out there that you need to be aware of, or you need to work on it. It kind of disturbed me, you know, knowing that I don't want to say base philosophy, but my tendency would be towards missing so much. You know, my tendency is leaning towards having me miss so much. And I didn't like that. That kind of got me, kind of made me aware, kind of made me want to try to work on that. But I did eat a lot. I ate that whole bowl, had a little bit of pub mix. Didn't get as much pub mix because I had that whole bowl. It was good too. Of course, I had breakfast. And I came home, ate some chips and Cheetos, watching Alien Earth, which is corny and kind of a letdown. It's kind of a letdown. It had the visuals. The visuals was there. There was definitely some good things in there. There was definitely some good, ooh, that was interesting. But the way the plot went and the way, so basically, I mean, it's probably gonna get better. It's probably gonna get better, but I don't know. It's probably gonna get better. There's some stuff in there that I'm like, maybe they set me up, you know. But it was still good to watch. And I'm looking forward to getting home and watching it again tonight. I mean, not getting home, but looking forward to watching it after work tonight. Because I'm thinking what I might do. Because I had to drive, you know, we worked in the office yesterday, so I had to drive home. I got home a little bit later. You know, kind of pushes the whole day to be a little bit later. Working from home, I could start watching that damn thing damn near like 8:15. Whereas I didn't get home till 9 o'clock yesterday. But either way, I was also thinking, there's gonna be black amount. You know, there's gonna be a reduction. I could probably buy one. If you buy 3, you get like a discount. If I buy 1, I was thinking I'd cut it in half. And only do a half a day or something like that. You know? Something like that, you know what I mean? Because if I was to smoke a first one and say, I gotta stop, or maybe I should discipline myself. Maybe I should go ahead and buy 3 like I usually do. And because I get a discount if you buy 3, 45 cents or whatever, but it's still a discount. And smoke them like I usually do, but stop, don't smoke as much. I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. You know, you want to make them last. Maybe I should challenge myself like that. The idea of challenging myself like that and doing it, and being successful doing it, is really exciting. Also, having 3 of them in the house, because I'm used to smoking like 2 a night. I'm up to like 2 a night now, after work. So, but I do feel a little bit of sinus stuff going on. It's not as bad. It feels numbed, I can say. Not as intense, but it's still early. And we'll go from there to see how it goes. I was also thinking the muscle tension and the neck thing in the back of my neck could be because of my night guard. I mean, my night guard is resetting my jaw or whatever and causing me problems. You know, where I'm tensing up all night and the muscles and stuff in the back of my head, you know, are going through stuff or reacting or adjusting to that teeth grinding and stuff like that. So this is definitely, maybe it's 2 things going on. You know, maybe it's 2 things going on. Because there was a time when I was getting, and I can almost say this with honesty, there was a time when I was getting more pain in the back of my head than sinus stuff. And it could have been when I was really smoking a lot of black and mild. So I mean, that's deep speculation. I might even be grasping, but I can almost say that. There was a time where I was just, you know, just like on a weekend or whatever, where I'm just all day long, you know, inhaling too. Let me just say that too. I'm inhaling them into my lungs, you know, because I like that burn, whatever that is. So we go there. But made progress yesterday. We'll see how I handle it today. If I could, you know, if I can get like a mile, cut it in half, and do it that way, that would be something, you know? If I could do it that way, that would be a little bit of discipline and something. But I probably just about one. I'll probably just about one and go from there. Because even last night with that half, I felt myself wanting more. But it did feel good though, I'm gonna tell you that now. Get off work, do what I had to do. You know, I kind of knew I only had half a block a mile, and I love anticipating, lusting for it. So I kind of pushed that off a bunch just to, you know, have that pleasure or that time and enjoy that time, that anticipation, knowing that, you know, I'm gonna go ahead to have that, walk out there on the balcony, fire that up. But we'll see. We'll see how we do it today. We'll see if I can get one and put it out. Don't smoke no more. I may have to cut it in half. Let's just be honest. I may have to cut it in half because if I'm laying in the bed and it's there, I'll be like, okay, one more, just one more. I'm gonna have to about one and cut it in half. And put the other half, I have to buy a safe. We're only gonna open up once every 24 hours, something like that. Put the other half in the kitchen, and you know, so I would at least have to get up and do something. And see, if I cut it in half, that means I gotta use the plastic butt. So I would have to sound like somebody off their meds. So if you can't hear that, somebody screaming. Oh, yeah, stupid bitch. But so let's see, then that means that, oh, I got other ones though. I think I got other ones I can get. I think I got some other plastic butts I could probably pull out of the garbage or whatever and clean those out and get those ready. So that means I can smoke them all the way down. Get every drop if I cut them in half. Because I got a funny feeling. If I say, all right, we're gonna smoke this much and stop, that I won't stop. And I wanna stop. Even though I still be reducing my intake by a lot, I still would wanna adhere to a limit that I set myself. Even though I say, all right, I'm gonna set myself at this limit, and even if I go past that limit, it'd still be a lot more. So I wonder if that's the police coming up. Here, I see the police coming. Oh, he going kind of fast. He just going by. Thought he was gonna go by that cussing. And I thought maybe some of the neighbors might have called him. I don't hear nothing. So that's where we're at. We'll see it. And I'm coming home. I go to 7-Eleven. I'll get 1 or 3 Black and Milds. And I'll probably just get 1. I'll probably go home, But when I put my black miles out, I usually kind of mess up the tip. So that's that. Or maybe if I smoke it down and I stop and put it out with water and clean it out. Something like that. Yeah, I could do it that way. Put it out with water and don't like mush the plastic down. Either way, here's ways I could do it. I think I'm gonna do it that way. Cut it in half. And in that way, I would have to get up. But I ain't got no problem getting up, getting out of bed and go do it again. I did that yesterday because that ice cream and Fig Newtons and marshmallows was so good. Because the marshmallows was in the bag, open. So they got kind of stale and a little bit crusty, hard. Oh my God, it was good. I was like, I'm gonna have to do this again. And there's no doubt that if I was smoking them Black and Milds, I wouldn't have done that. I'm almost guaranteed that if I was smoking those Black and Milds, I would not have done that. Hey, my weight was 204, 200.4. Waking up this morning. I think there was a time, a few days ago, where I think last Thursday I was like 201 or something like that. Last Thursday I was like 201 something. But yesterday, I think I woke up under 200, like 199. Well, I guess it ain't so bad. I could probably check. I should try to check. Put this on pause and check. Then if I mess up, I just have to splice them together, which shouldn't be no problem. If you think about it. Am I wrong? No, you're not. So, but it's something like that, but it's definitely, it was down this weekend and it went up a little. And this may be TMI, but there will be a bowel movement involved next couple of days that will help. Tomorrow will be a Friday. And we'll be going to another weekend. We're going to another weekend. I do feel a kind of way that I should go out and visit my mother. You know, it seems like I should at least go out there once a week or so. But, you know, there's philosophical considerations that I may or may not be going through. As far as some of the discussions I'll be thinking of are like, how much of that responsibility should I take on? How much not responsibility, but how much of that I should take on as far as being that thing in her life? How much life of hers am I supposed to live for her? And I mean, of course the answer is how much whatever I decide, how much I can stand. So it'll be different for different people. Their makeup, their personality, et cetera, But how much of it could be too much or detrimental to the person? Where I come in all of a sudden, where I become, or somebody becomes the center of their happiness and they do all this and do all that for the person to keep them happy. How much of that is taken away from the responsibility of the person to live their life and create meaning in their own life, where they may be putting the meaning of their life on you. You know, and I know how much of that how much meaning, how much of another person's life meaning should I become? And that's obviously the answer easily, is how much you allow, how much you're comfortable with, you know, whatever your personality is. But the other question is how much of it becomes detrimental to the person, to where if you allow them to put so much of their happiness and importance and everything on you, and you accept it. I mean, and all of a sudden, their will or motivation to thrive and survive and to find something, you know, can just go away. Because I gotta feel like my mother, I'm like, you need to find something that's gonna motivate you and make you happy. You know, it can't be me. It's not gonna be me. No, I'm not being that. No. Number one, because I'm not built that way. I'm not wired that way. To the point that where it might make me sick. It'll probably make me physically sick in the long run. Or have mental depressions or whatever. I'm just not that person. So, and then say it was somebody like that who would come in and take on that responsibility. And it's probably wired to where they thrive on that. Ooh, yeah. You know, where their body just responds to it. And serotonin and dopamine is pumped through their body to make them feel good when they do that. How much of that, you know, all of a sudden now, the person isn't looking to life or looking at anything else, looking to life to find meaning in life or reason for life or happiness in life. They're looking to you. And it's easier. You know, it's almost like, you know, the welfare state. They had good intentions. They had good intentions. Creating a welfare state and giving those people money. But it created generations that are still around today that have grown to depend on it, evolve to, that's all they know. Generation after generation after generation. You know, if you born and your mother 16 and your grandmother 32, and all y'all know is getting them checks and FDC and welfare and all that, and over time y'all get good at it. You know, it's almost like you teach that. That's all you know, number one. How you gonna teach something you don't know? And I mean, because nobody else around you going to school. Nobody else around you getting bachelor's degrees or, you know, trying to be this or try to be that. You don't see that. That's not part of it's kind of part, it's not part of your immediate reality. It's just, you know, something you've heard of, you know, exists. It's like, I know Jupiter exists, but I have no real idea what it's like to interact with a gas planet. You know? That's probably a hell of an analogy, but I like it. So that's the question I have. At what point, basically, at what point at what point, well, I'll say clinically, or like clinically or psychologically or scientifically, at what point would science say or research say that you just gotta let a person die? If they don't wanna find the motivation to live, don't provide them one. That's probably a cold way to put it, but you know, don't provide them one. It's just time to die. And another thing, as far as being practical or whatever, there comes a time where it may be time to die. And where your life basically, I don't want to say it's serving no purpose, but you know, roughly not serving any purpose, you're not accomplishing things, function. And I'm not even going into the part of a person being in pain or incapacitated or anything. I'm just like more, you get to the point where what are you doing? I mean, what's the point? Why are you waking up every day? And your reason could be because I want to. I mean, that's fine. I can't dispute that. You know, okay, I got you. It could be something as simple as that. But from a standpoint of, you know, the rest of us in society and how things work and function and ability and happiness and I mean, you get to the point that, you know, like the song in the Funkadelic song, when it's time to die. Y'all see my point. I forget the first sentence of that, but when it's time to die, I mean, it comes a time when it's time to die. There's always hope. Is there? Yeah. By definition, there's always hope. By definition, there's always hope. See, I try to walk over and just trying to move over. People want to ride side by side. You either go single file. Get out of the damn way. That's all I'm saying. Taking up 2 lanes. I'm supposed to be in the walk lane. I don't give a damn. You ain't supposed to be in that lane. So we both wrong. So that's kind of the discussion, the thought process I was having, because, you know, me and my sister, we doing all this and doing all that, you know, for my mother, where I don't see a reward in it. I don't see any practical return or reward in it. And you know, that may or may not deter me from doing this, but it's on my mind. I'm like, why am I spending X amount of dollars every month? What's the point? You know, you get to the point like, what's the point? Where's this going? Where's nothing being created, nothing being done, but a bunch of people serving her. You may say, yeah, she deserves it. You know, she probably deserves it. She deserves it. All that, you can make that argument. That could be debated or discussed. Just because you deserve it don't mean people should do it. That's all I'm saying. Just because you deserve it don't mean it should be done. And or by who? You know, I guess it would be me and my sister, as, you know, she's giving more to us than anybody. And we're doing our part. I know I'm doing my part. We're doing our part. But how far do we go? You know, how far we supposed to take this? I don't know. We're just going through the motions. I guess, you know, we're just gonna do this, you know, to keep them comfortable until, you know. But then you look at it too, you be like, it's getting kind of expensive to keep them comfortable, and you don't know how long this expense is gonna last. Then you just gotta, you know, buckle up and say, all right, I just gotta pay it no matter what. I just gotta do it no matter what. It's just gotta be that way. And that's cool too. It's easy. Make that decision and just go in that direction. Probably makes it easier for, you know, me or the person that's deciding. Because what's the alternative? To stop doing stuff? Because it can get to the point that where we're doing so much that we're living her life for her. You know, and that can't be good. There has to be a clinical research, scientific, something that says, all right, you know, this is detrimental. You're doing too much. This is detrimental to the patient, to the person, because they no longer have the responsibility or motivation to actually participate in life. You're doing that for them. So all of a sudden, I'm living my life and theirs. I'm just saying, these are things you start to think about in this situation. And they say one of the criteria of an evolved human hominid, or human being from hominid to Neanderthal to Cro-Magnon to Homo sapiens sapien, etc., is when they found skeletons of obviously injured elderly person that was being taken care of. They had no utility, no function, probably was unable to provide anything to the tribe or to the herd or whatever, but somebody took care of them. And they said the evidence of somebody taking care of them was, you know, probably a big step in consciousness of the human being, species, or whatever, lineage. So then we get to the point now where, you know, we're doing everything for them. And it's like, maybe we need to pull back some. I definitely believe in euthanasia and suicide. I definitely believe in that. Switzerland got it right. If you don't want to be here, you shouldn't have to be here. That doesn't mean you shouldn't, like on a Thursday, you shouldn't be able to just go there and say, I want to die tomorrow. Okay, you're done. At least not yet. You know, you probably got to make them wait a certain amount of time, see if they change their mind, fill out paperwork, do this, do that, make sure this is in place, make sure that's in place, make sure, you know, do a lot of hoops to jump through. But it should be an option. You know, look, I'm in pain all the time. You know, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't walk, I can't see. You know, I can't, blah. You know, it's not gonna get better. You know, where am I going? You know, what's gonna happen? And my mother kind of put it to the point where they put you in a coma. They always want to keep the hope, just in case something gets discovered, even if something might get discovered or something might happen. They don't want to extinguish all hope. They want to at least, they say if you're in so much pain and agony, they'll put you in a coma and keep you around. They're gonna prolong it, they're not gonna end it. That's just, I guess, the general idea of the medical industry and stuff. So that's where we're at and dealing with that. It comes a point that where, you know, how much of her life am I gonna live? Me, the way I'm wired, very little. Other people, probably a little different. It's up to the individual, so we'll see. And that money, I can see why on some of those comedies or TV programs or dramas where they start plotting. I can see why they start plotting. I would do that to my mother, you know. I would rather, I'm in a position where, you know, I could do something drastic financially and just take care of it all. I mean, that's, you know, worst case scenario. I say, all right, I'm gonna yank this much out of my savings and set her up somewhere in Utah. Fully taken care of, fully paid for. And I ain't gotta worry about it no more. And I wouldn't have to go to the extreme of something, you know, criminally drastic to alleviate the situation. I would, like I say, hey, and it might be at a point where I might need to do that now, in fact. It might be at a point where, look, let's just do it like this. You know, me and my sister, we're gonna do it like that. Then we put that lady in a home or something, and she lived for another 5 years. And we paying $12,000 a month. Yeah, that's what you don't want. And then it's getting to the point where she's not gonna be able to feed herself. She's not gonna be able to, speech is gonna go. She's not gonna be able to talk. She's not gonna be able to feed herself, not gonna move, not gonna be able to do anything. I mean, where do you go? Where do you go from there? You know? And I mean, not to get too morbid, I think you get to the point where the person gives up. You almost gotta wait and allow them to give up. And they just stop eating, you know? You put them in hospice. At least they got that part ready. They got the hospice system. May or may not be the best, but at least it's in place. Like my father, he basically said he didn't want to do dialysis no more. He didn't want to do that, do this. And, you know, he just kind of let it go. In his situation, you never know when it's going to happen. Do you want to be there when it happens? You know, they said he was asleep. His eyes was closed when they found him. So I guess that was a peaceful way or whatever. Do people want people around them when they die? Me, I think I might want to be alone because I want to have that experience. I don't want to be distracted from the experience. And there's a lot of options and stuff, you know, because they're in hospice. You know, you're gonna be there with them 24/7, or bring them home to die. I mean, somebody gotta be there with them all the time. You know, how does all that work? They might need medical attention, et cetera, et cetera. Looks like they're having a little standoff thingy on the bus there. So, that's where we're at on this Thursday. I would say Thursday is one of my favorite days because it's not quite Friday, but you can taste the weekend. And that slope, I feel like the momentum is going towards the weekend, and that feels pretty good. I can anticipate and enjoy that. Because Friday, you know, we just consider Friday the weekend. Friday, we already turned up and ready to go. Friday, we ready. You know, Friday, the way I'm feeling now, the way I'm going. Yesterday, I kind of had a slacky day. But my slacky day now is still a lot better, 10 times better than it was before I left. 10 times better than it was before I left. And it's just, answering the phones isn't agonizing anymore. I got the swagger. I can play, I'm doing things with my voice, you know, not like cartoony stuff, but, you know, there's animation in my voice, there's energy, playful, fun, you know, all of that. And it feels good. It feels good to feel good. That's all I'm saying. It feels good to feel good. I need to coin that phrase. I need to put that out there. Feeling good feels good. I need to get the t-shirt. I need to get the t-shirt. So that's where we're at. Still got to get, I think I'm all set for, no, I'm not all set. I still got to get a hotel in New York City. I still got to get a hotel for Times Square. But other than that, I'm set. And I'm waiting on that. I'll check today. I've been checking every day, but I might wait till next week to book a room because it seems like the prices go down. So I might wait till next week. On Monday, definitely start looking, if I ain't did it by Monday. If I get the price down there, we'll see. Because what I'll do is today, I'll look at it and see how much, what it'd be like to try to get a room for tomorrow. Because next Friday is when I'll be going in. So for today, I'll look for tomorrow. In fact, that's what I'll do. I'll look tomorrow and see, the availability. Even though weeks are different, demand can be different per week, but you can kind of gauge, what's going on. The worst case scenario would be I end up getting a room in New Jersey and having to catch an Uber, because I don't think I'm gonna pay $400 for a room for one night for the convenience. I don't know. You never know. Worst case scenario, I get a room at Secaucus and pay for the Uber to take me back and forth. Not even take the transit, which is probably good. I could probably take the transit to the show. But at night, I'll probably say, take me here. Call a Lyft and take me here. I come out of Times Square, walk away from the venue. Because I think last time I did that, we walked. In fact, I think I walked with Mr. Payne in there. We walked. He walked to his hotel. I think I walked to my hotel. Something. We walked. I forget who I was out there. I remember Mr. Payne was there after the show. And I walked back to my room. He walked back to his hotel. There were so many people out there. Oh, I think the bus, the tour bus or the tour shuttle had a flat tire, was broken or something. And they was waiting, for people, for a replacement or something to come. And it was like, fuck it, let's walk. I walk with them. Because I ain't averse to walking. I'm a walker. So walking don't faze me. And I ain't too worried about walking streets of Manhattan at night. There's always so many people out there. There's always so many people. Something was to go down. You have an audience, quote unquote. So other than that, that's where we're at. 3 days. Three nights P-Funk, and then fly back and go right to work. We'll see. Come back that Monday and work. I think I land at like 9 a.m. or something. So, might not get my 10,000 steps in that day. But We'll see. And as I was talking here and walking, I just realized my sinuses and head feel pretty good. My sinuses and head, headache, back pain, neck, whatever tension, whatever's going on, feel pretty good. And I also think it could be, the problem is because the way I sleep, carrying this stick, it could be walking, posture, my insoles, and my shoes. You know, I'm trying to consider everything. You know, whatever it could be, you know, I want to try to be aware of what it could be or not be. But yeah, my weight would be a little bit higher this time. I might be like 198. Hell, I was down to 195, 196 over the weekend. 195. I think I did a 194. I posted a 194. That was after a walk. Today I'll probably be 197 something. Probably like 197.8 or something. I'd say 197 high, 197.8. After this walk, because I'm not sweating that much. Not a lot of water weight to be gone. And 198 really ain't too bad, but you know, once you get a taste of 194, and you start the Monday off it. Take one. See, and the reason I probably started Monday off is I was probably smoking Black & Milds like a chimney. I was smoking the doggone Black & Milds and I wasn't eating. Therefore, it kept my weight down. Kept my appetite down. And I wasn't, you know, eating every 3-4 minutes. That's probably gonna change, and you know, I want to get a handle on that too. And I believe if I can get a handle on that, and get a handle on, you know, the eating and the weight, and keep my energy, it'll help me in doing my project stuff, the music stuff I want to do, and it'll give me energy in other parts of my life. To where I can execute the things that I want to get done, the projects and building the websites and stuff, because I got stuff I got to do. You know, I got stuff I got to do. So, yeah, I'm Gary, come up here. I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven. I'm gonna get we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna get one. Cause I was getting one before, remember? Remember I was getting one? That's how I started, slippery slope. Slippery slope. I go and I get one. And that's how it is. It would last, at least for that night. Now, 2 don't last enough. Went to the point where I need 2 a night. So, and if I smoke a whole one, I was like happy. Then it got to the point where I was happy smoking a whole one a day. Then now it's like 2 a day. And on weekends, it could be more than 2 a day. So wake up, smoke one, go back to sleep, eat, go back to eat, smoke up when I wake up, and end up just hitting it all day long. You know, we got to get away from that. So we'll find out what's going to happen this weekend. We're going to see how it's going to go this weekend. Even if I just wake up Saturday morning, because, oh my God, wake up Saturday morning, hitting that thing, and just laying there and just, you know, being in that moment. Maybe if I give myself that, and hopefully the rest of the day, you know, I don't know. I just got to do it. Moderation. I'm not good at moderation. So that's why I'm trying to put everything in, a standard or metric, saying this, that. You know, clear cut. Okay, from here to here, we're gonna do this. From here to here, we're gonna do that. No here, do that. You know, not no. You know, just don't do it so much. No, I gotta have metrics or things in place to limit me or tell me this or that, or amounts designated. Anyhow, swinging on y'all. 2 terms. For me, for the phone. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. Totality of it all. The totality of it all. Theory of universe. And hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery.